The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Long before the sects divided, there was the enveloping darkness. It was in this dark humanity learned to trust the light, to run from shadows, and most importantly, to fear.
Brutality and superstition walked hand in hand in this dark time, but also hope. Hope that the heroes of the stage could hold back the monsters and illuminate the path through the shadows.
The children of Cain are no different. Some run from the shadows, some turn to the light, and some become the monsters of legend passed down from one hearth to another.
Their story is one of loss, one of struggle, and one of death. For what can survive in the wake of those that cannot die?
This is what it means to be a myth made flesh. This is what it means to be a vampire in the Dark Ages.
Welcome to our Vampire Dark Ages stream. We here at McStabber Studios understand that some of the subjects that come up during this chronicle are problematic by modern standards. Our goal is to handle these kinds of situations in a manner that does not directly or indirectly glorify these kinds of actions. While we understand that we are playing in a world of monsters, that does not mean we must be the monsters ourselves. Please also be aware, none of our cast are experts in history. That means there will be some deviations between the real world timeline and the vampiric world. You can go ahead and chalk that up to the Cainite influence on the mortals around them. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy our story. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to McStabber Studios' Vampires Dark Ages Glimpses of History. I am the storyteller tonight, Shanky McStabber.
And I am Mama McStabber, and I will be playing Elena, Thorndaughter of Clan La Sombra.
I am Zachary Naldra, he, him. I am playing Miguel Tanner of the Gangrel.
I'm Juna Vanesh, and I am playing Peregrine McSullivan of S1E5, playing a Toreador.
Hello, I'm Maddox, and I will be playing Snatcher of Clan Nosferatu.
Hi everybody, I'm the Ravnos Archon, and I'll be playing Agustin Diego de Cartagena Cardenal de la Cruz, Clan La Sombra.
See, Shanky, he said he'd give you the full name next time.
I bet he did. Don't worry. Eventually he'll shorten it. Hard to do a long name when he has no tongue.
He knows when I threaten to give it to him, he's going to get it.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming. This is episode 5 of our first season. When we were last with this coterie, they were at Tehuta Pass. They did a bit of scouting. I found out one side of the pass seems to be Rus, Kievan Rus. Other side of the pass is, of course, Svlaks, which are Transylvanians. One side seems to be worshiping the old gods. One seem more Orthodox, Eastern Orthodox. And of course, they found out there's wolves in the area. Lots and lots of wolves. But where we're picking up tonight, it's a brief incident. This happens a few nights after you all have gotten settled. Through the day, work has been progressing, of course, on getting all of the rubble from the old place cleared. That is the first thing you have to do. And of course, putting up a temporary wooden palisade to at least make it a little more difficult for attack. But now I have to ask everybody here, What is your typical day-to-day night during these time skips? So we can have this as a frame of reference, just in case other things happen later. So we'll go right around the table. Elena, what is your normal day-to-day or night-to-night activity?
I have, excuse me, I have been ensuring that my new friend, our revenant, has been teaching those who wish to learn the language of the region. And I've been busying myself with weaving and making textiles for the fortress that will be needed.
Okay. Augustine.
I think that I would start my night with visiting this revenant so I can get my nightly lesson of the local language, at least in the beginning, very much about useful phrases and words that would be good for me. And then I would take Mario and check on the locality of the pass, make sure that nothing is out of the ordinary, call on the traditional guard duties that have been instilled in me, and then see if anyone needs anything of me. Otherwise, I will try to get to know this group of K-Knights that I have been ever so graciously given to.
Okay. Miguel, what does your typical night look like?
So Miguel would have spent maybe the first night or two constructing a workspace for himself. And then the remainder of the evenings has been gathering materials for the fort, lumber to create to be able to put up a quick wall since we don't have stone workers at the moment. In the process, he's done a little bit of hunting, and any birds that he's come across, he is giving an instruction to kind of have them watch out for the area surrounding the fort. And if they see anything that they would consider to be a harm or a threat, to land on the wall and kind of all gather up in one spot to signify where the general direction of this threat.
Okay, so the first thing I'm going to ask you is, what type of animals are you hunting? Do you hunt wolves? That is my specific question.
I'm not out necessarily looking for wolves. They're looking more for deer, stag, creatures that I can get leather from, and will have meat to provide to the workers.
And also give me manipulation animal kin. The birds in the area. I'm trying to decide if they're predatory birds in the area. I will let you just roll to be safe. Go with a difficulty 7.
I am, chirping at them to
Correct.
Speak in their own language to get that -1 difficulty.
Okay.
Especially since I'm out in the forest and nobody can see me. And since I feel it's as important for the defense as spending willpower.
Okay.
Nope.
So I'm sure that, you can always keep trying. So I'm going to assume a minimum level of success. They're not really that favorable to you, but you're pretty sure that the birds would at least consider your offer. Peregrine, what does your typical night consist of?
Well, I think that she will definitely be going with the nightly lessons of learning the language, but not just learning the language, learning how to write. So she can start to transcribe the folk tales, the messages, things like that. She will do a nightly thing with her goal to not only train him, she knows that he's a very good guard, but to train him in all of the different combat ways, and actually offer anyone else combat training, and then get to know the people, walk with them, talk with them if possible, learn their customs, learn which gods they believe in, get to know them and understand them, and then start to write and scribe not only for the coterie, but also start to put in her skills in seneschal, in keeping the books, keeping records, and then also starting to learn about the host clan within the area, because I have to be somewhat close to them, and I have to learn how to be close to that specific clan. So who better to learn from the people of that land?
Okay. And then finally, Snatcher. What does your typical night look like?
I have an itinerized list. No. Very simply, it's wake up for Romanian lessons. Maybe when Peregrine is more free, probably not much, getting some quick writing lessons in just for basic English bullshit. And,
Totally do it.
And then just a mixture of starting to gather rats to me, as well as walk through the towns and small spots that are around us and just observe people, see how they are, if they like jump when I'm near, see like test like their like just awareness of their surroundings, that sort of stuff. Just see what sort of people we're working with.
Okay. You've been here a few days. You can already tell it is considered spring. There is traffic now coming through already in your fortress. During the day, your guards have begun to collect the levy for those who wish to cross through the pass. And not much in the terms of money, because most of them coming through are merchants that are heavily in barter. But you are taking a percentage of pelts, goods, and you're starting to amass a small amount at least. Now, you're required to send a good portion of that back to Radu. How often do you plan to organize the wagon to send stuff back to him? Once a week? Once a month?
At this point, we're still developing, I would imagine. We still don't have the full resources that Radu had offered us, and if my understanding is correctly.
Yeah, the money you have is actually came from Micah Vikos.
But also just there was, other offers of, if I recall, there was supposed to be an architect that he was sending out.
Yes, he has not arrived yet.
As well as some workers, from my understanding.
Yes, there's a stone worker, carpenter, a few of the skilled in fortress construction. They are being paid directly from your liberum that you were given by Micah Vikos. They're not working for barter, as are your day laborers. So the main advantage you're having for what you're taking as the levy is some of it's food stuff, which of course offset what the hunting that needs to be done. The rest of it is textiles and other goods that you could always trade, of course, to the some of it to the villagers for additional food, but some of it's stuff you just have no use up here.
I would say anything that we can keep that is not going to spoil, we should keep, because at this time we do not have sufficient means to send what is needed. We don't have the bodies to spare to send someone off.
At least not until you have some sort of wall built to make it a little more defendable, I guess.
So until we have that kind of stabilized, I would vocally suggest not setting anything to Radu until we have that squared away.
Is the coterie in agreement? Just so I can finish establishing what's the processes here.
He seems fine. Yeah, he'll get a delayed payment, but there'll be enough up front that he probably won't care that it was delayed.
Okay. A few nights after you all have gotten settled, you're just rising from your day's sleep, as a group coming out of the basement. And as you come out of the basement, clearly coming up the walkway from the Transylvanian side, there's a black wolf that seems to be looking at the camp, watching you all. And as you're watching, one of the guards seems to notice it. And you hear him tell to one of the other guards, "Fetch me my bow." And you see the second guard run off to go fetch the bow.
Can I walk over to him?
Yeah.
Who? The wolf or the guard?
The guard.
Yeah. Miguel is also walking over to the guard.
And you get there about the time as the other guard brings him his weapon. Franco is the guard who's asked for his bow. Sire?
Ugh. I would not do that.
Why not, sire?
We've been hearing how many wolves, how many nights now?
That's why we should shoot it. Before long, they'll get brave and start coming into the camp, stealing our food.
Well, that's when you deal with them, not preemptively. They haven't done anything to you.
And the wolf is stopped at the edge of the clearing, is just watching.
Elena's going to approach the wolf.
And
Peregrine
he looks
will have
over,
her
the guard looks over at Elena walking towards the wolf, looks at you two, and his eyes kind of flash towards the wolf and then at the bow and then towards the wolf.
Franco, if you were on guard and an actual threat was approaching, you would be dead while you have someone else going to get your bow.
It's nighttime, sire. Anything that outside the camp, we generally can't see. I'm not on duty at this time. As you know, we watch mostly during the day and we have to get sleep at night. But this one's so brazen. I think I should put an arrow in him just to teach him to stay away from us.
Right, because the thing that the wolves will definitely see is one of theirs being injured and think, oh, we can leave alone.
It generally works.
Generally. But there's been too many howls in too many nights for me to be comfortable and not think that they'd somehow take revenge.
They're beasts, sire.
Yes, exactly. They're beasts.
Put pain on them and they learn to fear us. That's what we need.
They learn that they want to tear your throat out.
So does that mean that if you were talking back, while we are giving orders that we need to teach you a lesson?
Do I hear this as I'm walking past?
No, you've already moved over to the actual wolf.
We don't need that La Sombra aggression right now. We're good. Thank you. Deal with the
But-
wolf. You're safe.
Definitely the wolf is, or the guard gets a look of fear in his eye, and he doesn't know how to react. Now, while you're having discussion, Elena, you approach the wolf.
Mm-hmm. Does it seem to act aggressively at all?
No.
Well, she's also got inoffensive to animals.
Well, yeah, but it first backs up a little bit from you.
Mm-hmm. She
But
literally
then-
has her hands by her side. She is not walking in an aggressive way.
It's not until you get very close that it starts to rumble a bit at you.
I do not speak wolf. But if you understand me, nod your head.
It just stares at you. And a very low grumble in its throat.
Turn around and leave.
Stares a bit. Doesn't seem to understand what you're saying. Then there's there's a howl down in the valley.
She's just staring at it. She's not even dropped her eyes once.
And then it turns and walks back into the valley. Heads back down, away from you all. And the guard, Franco, it looks like it solved itself, sire. Am I to understand that the standing order is not to shoot wolves that approach?
If they are not within the gate, as you see a single wolf by itself is easily scared off.
And Elena just stares at the guard as she walks by.
He looks. And then still got this look of fear on his face as he turns to go back on his, where he was heading, which actually looked like he was heading over to the campfire. Got him
Couldn't we
back
find
in.
out what it wanted?
Go ahead.
No, this Snatcher, shouldn't we find out what it wanted?
I feel it's better not to go into the wilderness. Which I can only assume is the only place a wolf would go. And I'm not certain I'd want to follow a wolf into the
Did the
woods.
wolf walk off at a reasonable, just walking
Yeah,
pace?
It just turned and walked back down the path.
And Elena
Miguel
did
is
not
going
go
to-
chasing after it.
Miguel is going to go following it.
You're going to go follow it. So give me, let's see, what can we roll for that? Going to be some sort of good roll. A perception. You can go animal kin or survival. Pick one.
Do you want backup?
Keep an eye on me as long as you can. And I will point out that, yes, I do have heightened senses on.
Okay. Just give me a perception, animal kin or perception, stealth. I'm going to need, difficulty will be 6 on that.
Okay. And then with heightened senses, that would bring it down to 5.
Yep.
So that's going to make 3 successes.
You follow it a little bit down into the woods.
I will try to call out not to it to
But then
get its attention and make eye contact.
Then it darts into a bush. Very thick section of bush. And you lose sight of it.
How thick are the woods?
They're, in this section, pretty thick. The path is the only way easily down into the valley. It's pretty high trees with a lot of brush and a lot of underbrush. This section is particularly thick.
If it is clearly lost, I'm not diving myself deeper into the woods off of the path.
He beats you on the roll to slip away from you, so.
And he at no point looked back?
Nope.
All right.
And then you head back
Yeah,
up. I'll turn it over to the players to discuss this before we skip some more time, because the rest of the time, nothing special happens. But I think this warrants a discussion from the group.
Yeah, I immediately go up to Elena. Damn, Elena, I saw that your mouth was moving. What did you say to the wolf? Is this a creature that is known in your part of the area of the world?
No, not so much. I mean, wolves, yes, but I just approached it non-threateningly, but stared it directly in its eyes and let it know I don't speak wolf, and that if it understood me, in case it's some kind of, I don't know, werewolf or something, to nod its head. It looked at me as if it did not understand.
I did not think of werewolf entirely. I commend you. When you said understanding, I immediately thought of maybe it was someone's familiar, like a rat or the birds that Miguel has tried to talk to.
It could be that too, but either way, I just stared it directly in its eyes, never blinking, and told it to turn around and leave.
That is a good technique.
You must never show fear.
Miguel has rejoined us at this point,
Yes,
right?
he's come back
Okay.
up.
Perhaps in the future, if there is a wild animal to be spoken with, someone who can actually speak to wild animals, talk to it.
I would have preferred that. I could have handled the guard.
I think I was more insulted by the utter lack of forethought. Apologies. Next time
It was
will
not
be the
my first
animals.
choice to go walk up to a wolf and stare it down.
But you did.
Yes, because you were
Instead of-
busy talking to a fucking guard.
The wolf
You
wasn't
chose
going
to talk to the
The wolf
human.
wasn't going anywhere. You put yourself in that situation. You didn't have to.
You didn't have to go talk to the guard.
Was anything
You put yourself
learned?
in that situation.
Was anything learned from your excavation down to follow the wolf?
I lost it.
So
Down
you
the
missed an
path.
opportunity to talk to the wolf by going to the god.
I missed the opportunity to talk to the wolf that you scared off, that you chased off.
Had you gone to it first and done your thing, we wouldn't be in this situation.
Had you gone to the guard and had first, what? Why? You didn't have to get involved, and you're the one raised. I just made a simple request, and you're taking it to an unnecessary level. I just said, in the future, if an animal comes up,
Then you walk to the animal instead of the gods. I'll handle the gods.
Then handle the guards. Fine. Why aren't the guards who are on the perimeter without their bows?
That's an excellent question. I shall find out. It seems they are inept.
At the very least, Franco is.
So you're going to go talk to the guards?
Absolutely.
It seems at night you really only have 2 guards on duty because you only have 6 guards at the moment. 4 of them covered during the day to handle the levy. You only have 2 on duty right now. The 2 you find, they're watching, oddly enough, they're watching the Kievan Rus side. Don't seem to be paying much attention to the Transylvanian side.
And which side did the wolf come from?
Transylvanian side. Same place where you heard all the wolves in the valley. But you haven't heard wolves on the other side, in the Kievan Rus side. So they're watching
The wrong fucking side.
the side they're planning to put the levy on.
Excuse me.
Yes, lady.
There are 2 of you, yes?
Yes, lady.
There are 2 ends to this pass, yes?
Yes, lady.
Why in the world are you staring at one end? Both of you. Are you cowards? Or are you just greedy?
I didn't think we need to worry about our side. This side back here that's Radu's land, and anyone coming up there.
Like the wolf.
Wait, there was a wolf?
Yes.
Did we shoot it?
No.
That would have been nice for the cold nights.
Yes, well, there are 2 of you, so one stand at one end, one stand at the other.
He gets a look in his face. You can see the anger.
And you make sure you have bows.
Yes, lady. And both of them start to run to the other side, and then they realize both of them are going. Then they look at each other, and one finally turns back to stand on the wall, or not by the pass where you're building the palisade.
I see Radu does not employ intelligent guards, and she walks away.
Do you all have any more discussions this night?
I'd probably
Any other
just
planning that needs to be done.
I'd probably ask if there was a specific spot anyone would prefer. I try to keep the rats, like, if there's like a section of like the pass or something like that. But aside from that, nothing major, just logistics.
You have no other major discussions. Last chance. Okay. We're going to move forward. After this night, it seems the guards have taken to heart their fuck up. You don't see any more nights where they're on opposite ends. but I do want wits alertness from everybody. And difficulty will be 6, of course.
I forgot to ask if my specialty of quick assessment would fit.
Not for this one.
Okay. Then my roll stands.
I got 3 with 2 10s.
3, 1. Okay.
2 on my end.
2.
But even with the roller, I still end up getting bamboozled.
I blame Urian. 3. Let's see if anyone beats
100%.
3. 1. Peregrine and Elena, you've been here about a week with nothing else happening. But as you wake, you're moving about the camp in your nightly activities when suddenly you notice at the edge of the shadows, already beyond the guards, there seems to be a very angular looking man. Skin is ashen gray as it can be. Face all hard lines. Almost looks carved from stone. Who is standing in those shadows, just staring at where the workmen have been clearing. And he's just standing with his hand like this, just barely moving his hand.
Snatcher,
Yes.
I believe your associate is here.
Oh, and I'll stand up and, trying to contain excitement, walk over to him.
And as you approach, he finally notices you. Good evening, Snatcher.
Zelios. And I'll hold my arms out for a hug if he'll accept it.
He looks at it and then slowly steps in and kind of gives you a hug. His eyes never leave where the fortress is going to be.
It's not a long hug either. It's really just like seeing family. Hey, that sort of thing. And then I'll turn and look where he's looking.
I did not know you would be here. Count Radu did not inform me.
I was given quite the surprise when I heard the greatest architect was coming as well.
They call me that. There are good bones. I think we can build a fine fortress here. There are more of you.
Much more. Come right this way, and I'll walk him over to meet everyone.
And you all see skin, color stone, chiseled features, a very blank expression on his face, almost as passive as the stone he seems to be carved from. I am Zelios.
It is a pleasure, Zelios. I am Elena.
It's an honor. My name is Agustin.
Peregrine.
Miguel.
Radu has sent me to assist in the design of this castle. But before I go into specifics, it is customary to negotiate payment before I render services.
What do you seek?
What do you have to offer?
Money, some goods, favor.
A favor. I may find that useful in the future. Yes, favor.
It is agreed.
So, what ideas do you all have for this construction?
Priority is the fortress. But within the fortress, there needs to be a small chapel.
We would like space for a market of sorts.
If we can arrange it. Does not need to be large, more like a trading post.
We can put a small open square here. And he points towards an area just past the narrowest point of the gap.
Mm-hmm.
A wall with a gate to block the gap. The fortress will set on that hill. And as he's talking, you notice he's getting a little more animated in his face as he discusses what he's building. It'll be a nice tall tower to overlook both sides of the pass. And the basement must have a tunnel. Tunnel that leads away from here in case of danger. Yes, I see it now. It's coming into fruition.
Would you like to see the basement?
No, I can see it already.
I would also like a path, if possible, on the perimeter to where we can set up shrines for the local populace.
In the wall or outside the wall?
Outside the wall.
I think, yes, I can. If I move the wall this way, we can put a shrine, and then we will adjust here. We'll have to thin the wall here. Yes, I can see.
So long it is still a secure fortress.
The shrine area will be narrow, very narrow, no more than 2 abreast. It will not be used to bypass the fortress in any way. It'll be very easy to defend.
Excellent.
Yes, I can do this.
The people of this land are of varying faiths. They must all be accommodated.
That's fine. Do you have paper? Ha! He didn't seem to notice you were standing with a book. He just completely missed it. I will need some paper and a quill, and I will draw plans.
Oh, you mean the ones I was just doing?
Yes, I will draw plans.
Well, I was just writing down what you were saying, so it drawn it already here.
Master Stelios, while we have your brilliance here in the area, there was notice of some guard towers that had been taken down in the years. Could you also design maybe a lasting creation for us so that we might replicate it, make the road safer for traveling?
I can draw plans for that, but I'm afraid that is... Count Radu was very specific. He told me not to plan out something more difficult that can be built. At least the foundation's laid before winter comes.
Oh, I completely understand.
We understand. We have laborers here if you make it not too intricate.
But I will draw plans as well for towers further down or I did not see anywhere I could put one coming up this
They
side.
are further down the pass on the roost side.
Something for later is all. No rush.
Yes, I can do that.
Can I just ask for a little room for scribing and such? Because I'm the one that's writing everything.
Well, the fortress will be much like Count Radu's fortress. There'll be many rooms in it. Barracks,
No, just
kitchens,
one small one.
dining halls, bedrooms. Yes, yes. A library. Must have a library.
All right. I just want to make sure I have something proper to put up for bookkeeping and such.
That's no problem. I envision it. I see it. And he starts staring into the sky as if he's looking for something. Yes, good bones here. Very strong place.
I'm assuming the bones are the structure and the foundation, eh?
Well, yes.
I'm just confirming what you're saying. A scribe.
Where can I sit to write?
And Elena takes him over to a bench and table that has been set up.
And he begins to completely ignore you all as he starts drawing up these plans. And at some point he gets up, and when he stands, you'll notice he doesn't look quite as stony. He shifts his guise a bit and looks more human as he goes over and begins to talk with the mason as he's holding these plans that he's very quickly thrown together. And from where you can see him, in a very short amount of time, he's drawn some pretty intricate plans, complete with measurements that you don't know where in the hell he got the measurements, almost as if he's eyeballing the measurements. And the two of them are in a discussion as he's gone from very stoic to his arms are pointing every which way as he's wall over here, towers will be up this high, up into the sky so we can see. And he gets real animated as he's discussing what he's building.
I'd like to, sidle up next to Elena for a second. Should he meet the Revenant? I am uncertain if it would help, since she knew what was here before, and he does not seem as interested in entirely what was here before.
I mean, it's fine if he does. He may not be interested.
His interest is sometimes difficult to obtain. But once you have it, and I just gesture to how he's describing things now.
Mm-hmm. He is an odd one.
I've never met anyone so intelligent.
But yes, you can take her to meet him.
At the very least, I have learned, please follow me, in her language.
That's right.
As you bring her over, his eyes flash to her. He looks her up and down. I built your brother a fortress. A very strong fortress. It's good work. And then he turns right back to the mason.
And I just turn and give her a soft smile and a nod, because I know even human looking, I'm not exactly pleasant to stare at.
She looks at you, looks at him, leans over and speaks to you in Latin. It's not as bad as it was. It's still not perfect, but it is better.
Better than my Romanian. That's fine.
He knew my brother?
Would appear so. He's done work for many. It does not surprise me that he knows, although I do not know how much more he will be willing to tell you about it.
He looks odd.
As do I.
And you hear now Zelios is being very specific about exact block sizes that should be cut for the bottom layer. Very specific. It's actually kind of odd how specific. It stands out to you because his measurements seem to be very precise. He wants a very specific size block for just the bottom row. She just watches him for a while. And then she shrugs. He must not know me. I've never seen him.
Or perhaps you have, and he simply looks different.
Your kind do that a lot.
We can. It is different for the ones here. They can choose how they appear. Some are not as fortunate.
But it's not real, right? You've told me that. The way you look now is not how you really are. I've seen both.
I'll hold my hand out to her.
So different from what we do.
In some ways.
When we reshape what someone looks like, it is real.
This is quite completely skin deep.
Wouldn't it be easier if you molded yourself to not need those disguises?
I have heard rumors. I doubt it would work permanently. I know very little about the Canaanites that call this land home, and even less about what they are capable of.
It's not just the Canaanites who do it. My family has learned that long ago.
Is it common to teach mortal families this?
Mortals. Us? We're more than that. We are the lords who sit under your kind. We had to be more than that. Our line has been made strong that way.
I thought I liked you. If you're willing, I would very much enjoy any information on the great ruling Zamisi that you could offer, if you have any.
I don't know much of the ruling portion of them.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I angered Inez, and that's why you found me being sold.
And for a pitiful price, you're worth at least 4 times that.
They would have had a hard time containing me. They would have killed whoever bought me.
Good. You would have done it well.
And you see her close her eyes, and she gets you see pain cross her face. And then she looks up at you, and she takes one finger and takes it to scratch your cheek, and you notice now that finger's a claw.
May I? I'm gonna, tap it with my finger.
It is a very, very sharp, it's hard to explain, almost, it's almost as if an eagle's talon has been enlarged instead of a finger. A very hard, sharp nail. The skin on it is kind of rough, thicker. And then she just kind of closes her fist like this, and another look of pain crosses her face as her hand, you see it just slowly pull back in.
So it hurts.
Reshaping the body always hurts.
Hmm.
Does it not hurt your kind to do it?
No, I find that the most I feel is something wash over me and then ignorance.
Ah, but yours isn't real, that's why. Mine is real. The bones elongate, the skin shifts.
If it helps, I am no longer concerned for you being able to guard yourself. I will admit, for quite some time after we rescued you, I was worried that you were vulnerable. I am wrong.
As all Basarabs, I was trained to fight from birth, though our primary goal is to be diplomats and emissaries. You do not find continued existence unless you can hold your own. This is a harsh land, a dangerous land, soaked in blood.
One last question, and then I will leave you to your business.
Ask, sire.
Do you ever wish to become like us?
You tempt me with something my family has killed for. To be blessed with the blood of a Canaanite. So many of my relatives have died in an attempt to achieve. So rare that we are recognized and gifted such a blessing. If I earn it, of course I would accept it.
Interesting. Have a pleasant evening, and I'll give her a firm handshake where it is not skin that she is holding. And then with a smile, I will head back and start gathering more rats.
Okay. What's the rest of the group doing while you see Snatcher having a nice long talk? If anyone was running around with heightened senses for hearing, you probably caught most of that.
I also wasn't trying to be like hush-hush or anything. It was conversational tone.
Peregrine, will you take a small walk with me?
Aye, sure. What's up?
I need to get moving a little bit.
But, yeah, sure. I normally don't take much of a walk, but it's on your mind.
And as we walk away from the others, we're just walking and chatting.
Which way do you walk? Do you walk down the Kievan Roos side of the pass? You walk back
Yes.
towards Radu's side of the pass?
No, we walk towards the Kievan Roos.
Okay.
The wolves aren't coming from Kievan Roos. Okay?
You're learning quickly. Got it.
It's almost like they know we are full of fucking vengeance and brutality over there, and they just don't bother. Okay?
I was going to say piss and vinegar, but hey.
There's probably also a couple among the number, like...
I'm sure there are a few. But anyway, you have been upset.
Me? Well, that transparent.
Please. I know the look we women folk get when a man has pissed us off.
I don't want to cause issue with people. Try to keep myself surviving,
I understand.
The conversation I heard just before your sister left. I don't think I was meant to hear the conversation, but it happened anyhow. I gave your brother the tablet and I didn't want to be around anyone. And then I heard Snatch and Miguel talking, and whole religious thing came out. These people are kind of like mine. Before everything changed.
Before
They
Rome.
We lived together in harmony. And then they came in force. More and more and more. And in the 500 years, I've seen what Rome has done to us. It pains me to think that people have to decide that what we believe personally is something that can just be thrown away and have to be taught to be something better because they believe their God is better than ours. I know many people don't believe in things, but some of us are still devout to the old ways. They kept me alive for 500 years. Why could I be complaining?
I understand.
Let's not go changing the culture and the people just because some people don't believe in what they believe in.
That is why I insisted that we also have shrines.
Because I got no place to pray to. And I'm telling you, if the Morrigan doesn't get that praise, you're going to have 3 goddesses on your on your ass for war and death, and I am not going to be the one standing in between them.
Then you'll ensure that the stonemason has description of an idol for her, and it will be made.
I have my own copies they can make a copy of.
It will be placed with the other old gods here. She will be in good company. The ones here are not so different than the ones that I came up with. They just
That's fair.
are the same, but different names.
Can we just... I mean, with that wolf that we saw earlier, these people are protected.
They are.
Protected by blood. And I know I'm the odd one out, being the Irish one here. But we've been conquered more times than I can think of in the 500 years I've been alive. Keeping community and tradition and...
It is important.
I
know.
I don't want this to change them at all.
That's why I wanted both. When I converted, it was a ruse.
I remember.
But I had to make it convincing. And so I brought it home. My son declined, but my grandson was interested. And now, these people, all the way to this pass, seem to be part of the orthodoxy. Generations later. It was part ruse, but it was also part tactical. I knew that the future of Rus depended, at least for a time, on relations with Constantinople.
Aye, and it's fallen now.
I know. But I never gave up my old ways. And the people of my home, Orthodox and pagan, could coincide. Oftentimes, the Orthodox members would, on feast days and such for our elder gods, still give tribute. Because, it doesn't hurt to perhaps have blessings from more than one.
Oh, I mean, why do you think we have more than one?
Exactly.
I mean, pick or choose.
So it is good. I think it will be good for the people here to have a small chapel, if they wish to pray on the road, to their one God, and shrines for those who wish to pray to their many gods.
But it's fair, I didn't want to cause a fuss. I'd rather be quiet about it and deal with it on my own. Sometimes it's easier that way. I'm dealing with multi-Canaanites, and being a ghoul was one thing.
Yes, you were subservient.
I mean, it was easy to say yes and no and then hide off and do other things during the day.
Of course.
Made life easier. Now it's trying to do what I have to come here for, but at the same time, try to keep myself true to myself and being true to everyone else that I'm here for.
I do not envy you. You have significant challenges ahead.
How so?
If an Asamite sent you here, there's a reason.
Aye, 'tis.
I don't need to know. But it cannot be easy.
It's... Out of all the clans, it's not one I would give to anyone lightly.
Indeed.
If I get quiet again, things are up, but I'd rather just make sure that I'm not stepping on toes.
Understood.
I'll do what I have to do quietly, but I don't want to cause any issue because, I'm a woman. What issue do I have? Smile, nod, and keep your head down.
That's fine. You can do that. I'm incapable.
You're incapable because you didn't have to deal with it, which is good. At least one of us has the obstinate backbone.
I'm sure many wished I would have.
I know. I heard about you when you were alive. My Damator told me, dear God, what kind of woman is that? And I'm like, well, not only does she have probably iron balls, but I'd be afraid to find out just exactly how hard it would be to kill her. And I'm not even going to attempt it. And that's when you were human.
And we're laughing as we're walking back.
You go. I'll tell you what, when he found out about such things that you had gotten gold and such, he thought, what in the blazing hell? And I just went, I feel pity for her Damator because it's going to be hard enough to keep her quiet.
That was the reason why I was able to have a son.
Oh, that's fair. Oh, good on you. You at least have a good line going.
Yeah.
Don't you want to go down there and say hi once in a while?
I worry. I worry.
If they be kicking it long enough for you to be doing all of this, they're gonna keep kicking on for quite a while.
I have hope.
That or otherwise, we just go down there and I'll be the brazen redhead killing off all of the people you're telling me to kill. It's fine. I need to spill a little blood once in a while. I haven't done it in a bit. The fingers get itchy. I haven't been in a good tournament in a bit. I feel like getting a little rusty.
Thank you for walking with me, Peregrine.
Sure, anytime. I'm not used to this, but it was good.
Yeah. Let me get back to weaving.
As you all get back, do we need anyone else need to have a talk before we move on with this particular exciting night?
I want to talk to Miguel.
Go ahead.
Well, all of this is going on. I want to sidle up to Miguel. Miguel, I don't mean to bring up salty wounds, as however you say it, but could you have talked to the wolf? I've seen you trying to talk to the birds, and there has been no show of force, as one could say.
I can talk. I can understand.
This is something the whole clan can do, yes?
Command is not something I have yet to have a grasp on. It is something that you pick up when you travel in the wilds. And that's something that my clan does regularity.
Is it difficult to bring yourself down to the mentality of a beast? Is this why you wanted to talk to the guards? Because they are no better than beasts.
Perhaps my instinct is to defend and protect over the ones that I cared about in life. And for many years after my unlife began.
Old habits. I understand this.
So when I see someone who is on guard, who is already in a precarious position, need to call for someone to get a bow. I question the caliber of people that we entrust to watch over these grounds during the daylight hours.
Let me pose a question to you that has been rattling around since that comment was made. What if Radu wants us to fail? What does he gain? How does he turn this into a victory for himself?
I don't pretend to know what other allegiances Ratu has. He may have some obligation to make an attempt. He does not care if it's successful. He may just need to make a show. Look, I tried. Oh well.
Correct. And it doesn't matter who he burns in the process because they are not his clan.
I don't quite understand clan politics. From what I know of my clan, we never were big on it to begin with. And I have spent more time with those outside my clan than my own. And they've let in. They tell me very, very little what their plans are and how they interact with their own kind.
If it is within my power, Miguel, I promise that I will protect you politically if I can, since I have more expertise in that arena. I just hope that you will find the courage to do the same when it comes to animals, because you definitely have the advantage there, my friend.
Perhaps if there is a next time, maybe we should work something out as Snatcher to ensure that at least one of us goes to talk to the animal.
He can do it too?
He says he can.
Such a secretive little worm.
From what I know of their clan, that's par for the course. That's what they do.
He is excelling at what he does then.
What is your hopes for what we achieve here?
I hope that this will win me some anonymity with Moncada. I hope to learn something from Damalena. And given that in a cruel twist of fate, the Lord has seen me reunited with old faces, I hope that there is a reason, that we have each other's interests, if not at heart, definitely in the back of our minds. I don't trust Radu, especially not when I saw that Lucita was here. And now that we have met Zelios, and he is equally as mad as Anatole, I don't like the outcome of me getting older and becoming wilder and wilder, if you catch my drift.
Well, Anatole does give off that sort of zealotry. That can be off-putting.
I find that zealotry is the push that some soldiers need and the harness that others place on those beneath them.
It is called, or it is asked that I spread my beliefs with others, though it always has to be someone's choice. If there is means while we are here, I would like those who travel through to have the ability to learn for themselves.
You have taught me a valuable lesson, I think, with your sister. It would behoove us for us to ghoul a priest here to make sure that there is someone faithful, if not to us, to at least the blood.
Of course, if there is someone we have to leave behind, it wouldn't hurt to have someone in a position to keep us informed of what goes on.
This is true.
Of course, that is a decision for many nights from now.
Oh, yes. First, we have to figure out how to draw the creativity down, but keep the liveliness up from this Zelios, I think. Do you require anything from me, my friend?
I do not, but thank you for your words.
Of course. I will go try to poke the bear that is Zelios.
Zelios is still in a very precise discussion with the mason worker. When he sees you come over, he looks at you briefly, and he goes right back to what he's talking about. The trees, when you build the stone, notch it to fit the logs exactly the size I have described into the notches. It must be strong enough to support the weight of the tower to be built above it.
I'm just going to watch and ask follow-up questions to whoever's there with him.
Okay. Just to get a feel for what he's doing.
Mhm.
There is a method, it seems, to his madness. He is very precise about what he's wanting built. He's very precise about... It's not luck that he's describing specific dimensions. He has something in mind. Are you not sure what it is? It matches everything you've wanted. But he's gone beyond the normal. I mean, you were around the palaces or around the courts. You've seen construction being done by master masons, master architects. What he's doing is another level. But as the night goes on, that's all he does. And as this night goes to a close, I'm going to say, Zelios stays with you about a week. Each night, when the sun falls, he gets up and he goes over the progress of the day and works with the master mason. Never seems to tire of the discussion. Doesn't seem to alter the plans at all. But after a week, one night, you rise and he is gone. Left a stack of papers for the masons to use as a reference to build the fort. It's 2 nights after that on the Transylvanian side, the guard watching, you hear him scream shortly after nightfall, and you see him running from his post. As at this point, you've got a palisade up and it's got a gate made of wood. But something jumps your palisade. At first, an oversized pony, perhaps, but as it pads into the light, there's a wolf the size of a pony, 9 feet in length. Fur as dark as the shadows in the forest as it pads forward, looking at all of you. Right here, everybody. We're going to break. We will see everybody in 10 minutes. Please enjoy the break, people. Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, they had a wolf visitor at their camp that they prevented the guards from shooting. There was a little bit of coterie drama with that, but nothing major. And then, of course, let me fix this view for my wife here, because, oops. There you go. And then they met Zelios, the architect who has arrived to design their fortress. And of course, they had to owe him a favor because payment is customary for these kind of services. But as we had gone into break, there was a very large pony-sized wolf that had come over the wall and scared the guard off. And as we open up, this wolf that is as dark as the shadows in the forest is slowly padding towards the group. The hackles aren't up. It's not growling. It is just slowly padding towards you all.
I'm gonna motion my hand out. Miguel, I think this is your opportunity to be advantageous for us.
And you notice one of the women who cooks for the group that is here. As a matter of fact, it would be Kumana, one of the wives that have come to provide food. You see her making some sort of sign with her hand as she sees the giant wolf. She is not like the guards who took off running. You notice the number of the workers tonight, most of them are from the Transylvanian side, and they don't seem scared or running from it. A number of them seem to be making signs of some kind as it pads over to you.
Keep the guards in check.
The guards have run in terror.
I understand.
Miguel is still going to make that statement before stepping forward towards the.
I think
visitor.
that's to me, and so I'm gonna keep myself so that I can see the wolf, but I'm also gonna watch for any guard activity, and I'm gonna step in if any of them become aggressive or start making their way back.
You notice the guard who was at the other gate to the Kievan Roos side, he looks over and sees this thing padding. He doesn't even bother trying to open the gate. He is trying to scale the wall to get away from it. I mean, this thing is the size of a horse. Probably outweighs a horse. And as it walks up to Miguel, starts sniffing the air. And then, oof, just a very low bass. You can feel it rattle your chest as it does a wolf, just a kind of cough at you. As it stares. And then you hear the wolf say a human word. Which of you speak German?
Lingua franca.
Close in, yep. The lingua franca is German. So, Augustine, yes, that would actually mean you speak enough to understand.
Ah, damn. Even when I'm losing, I'm winning.
Huffs out through its wolf mouth an approximation of leech as you begin to see it shift and change form, growing smaller in size, but not in height. Before much time at all has passed, there's a man standing there wearing woodsman's garb, Saxon clothes, as a matter of fact. Black hair, the same color as the fur he had, a beard. It's a full beard, but it is well kept. Matches the same color. I smell the stink of death on you.
You certainly know how to make an entrance.
Can never be too careful with your kind. I do not smell the stink of the corruptors on you. The ones who claim these lands for their own.
No, none of them are here.
At least you have a little bit of intelligence. What brings a group of leeches to my land?
We were hired to oversee building of a fort. I presume its purpose is to provide some stability to the people of the land, potentially open trade with other areas for them.
The people on this side of the pass are under my protection. You may call me Galen.
Well met, Galen. You can call me Go.
I don't care what you do to those on the other side. On this side, they follow the old ways. They respect the old ways. You will not feed from them. Are we clear?
That is agreeable. Do not impede our progress here.
You say that like you can stop me if I chose to do it. Thankfully, I have spoken. I have been advised by the spirits of Bat that in this case, our interests may align. In this case.
Understand we were hired to ensure it is built. We were not hired to remain after.
That's fine by me. As long as you follow my request.
Your people will not be harmed. If they work here, they will be paid.
Of course. We also have spoken with those who watch the signs. There is a chance you can help us with something. There is something wrong here. There's something wrong in this valley. Something that is preying on my people. And I suspect if you're here long, they will prey on you too.
What is this something?
If I knew what it was, we would be able to deal with it. The only thing we've seen so far is flickering lights. Torchlight where there should be no torchlight. Normally in dark, shrouded places. Spirits attracted to the lights. Places where the spirits reach through. I do not know what it means. We don't know what it means.
When you say spirits, are you talking of the souls of the dead or something else?
something else. Something your kind would know nothing about. But they are very real. They are very dangerous. And they have caused some under our protection to go missing. I suspect they will strike here as well. The lights appear in the village at night, we believe. Could happen in the day, but you wouldn't notice now, would you? Torchlight in the day is unseeable.
Among other things, yes, you would not notice torchlight in the day. Is it contained just this valley? Have you gone to the other side of the pass to see if that area is also afflicted?
We have sent scouts. Have not heard of any over there yet. They seem to be targeting those we protect. I would say it's a rival pack, but our kind don't use spirits in that way. This is something else.
Perhaps during our time here, while this fort is being built by people of both sides of the pass, they can interact and they can learn more from conversation without the need for direct dealings.
I have seen you speak to the beasts in this area, as I've seen your friends speak. You noticed any acting strangely?
Have we? Aside from one wolf that I'm sure was this
Not
dude.
that you've noticed. But now that he mentions it, I will let you roll. Intelligence, animal kin, maybe. I mean, that's a good one. Wits, animal kin, that's a good one. Eve, you can even use survival if you don't want to roll animal kin.
I want to roll my wits occult
Oh, I'll allow it.
on what he's describing,
I will allow it.
and I'm going to use my specialty of cunning.
And Snatcher, I am going to give you a bonus difficulty 6 for everybody. You have a difficulty of 5 for yours, and there's a specific reason.
Okay.
Could I do a perception and survival
Sure,
because of my specialty for detecting weaknesses?
sure.
Perfect.
Wait, can I use perception instead of intelligence or
You can use perception or intelligence. It's up to you.
Oh, wait, no, my
Pick
wits
one.
and perception are the same. I'm fine.
I'm
thought
very
you said-
generous and
I
let
thought you
pick
said
the one.
wits.
3 for Miguel. Elena?
I got 6 because I got a 10.
Oh,
Yeah, I only got 3 on the
so you got
wits
a
and occult.
crit, which gave you 2 of them, huh?
Mhm.
What was your
Two.
specialty?
Cunning,
Cunning?
under wits.
2 for Snatcher?
Yeah, 2. One's fucked me.
Snatcher, I'll tell you, there 2's enough to know that you've heard vaguely similar when you were in London of odd torchlight in the alleyways.
Who was I hearing it from?
Street chatter.
Hmm.
Elena, it sounds to you like it was 6. Still something you wouldn't have a lot of knowledge about. But it is close to Will of the Wisps. Light to lure. Not quite the same. It's not over a bog or place like that, but
No, but more like light sprites.
something to lure somebody into a dangerous area. What did everybody else get? 1,
3.
3. Miguel, I mean, the birds weren't very receptive to you. But with 3, I will let you know. You've been in the wilds a lot more than anybody else here about living off the lands. Even around farming villages, the rat population is off. A bit more abundant than you would have expected, even amongst the farming community.
The light, it is a lure.
Did I hear that rumor mill in London like when I was human, or was this after Embrace?
When you're human,
All right.
news travels very slowly in this world. Little things like that wouldn't have traveled except you were there.
We need like an international network or something.
I will not impede this structure, even if it pains me to leave it alone. In return, you will let me know of any strange animals. You will let me know if the lights appear here. You will leave my pack and my people be. They can work for you. They can perform what they're being hired to do.
Agreed.
There are more rats here than I am accustomed to. Well, I have not seen anything strange from the animals, or any strange animals. Their increased presence itself seems strange to me.
We hunt them freely.
I did not even notice. Maybe it is because I'm used to many rats.
I have said what I was sent to say.
How do we communicate with you further should we learn one of the things you wish to know?
Just look for the wolf. There will always be a wolf watching.
Do you want this verbal or do you want it written?
If you speak to it, it will know it's being spoken to. And it will pass the message.
Very well.
That would not advise your guards fetch their bows again.
I
Fair.
will make sure they have proper instruction.
Nasty things happen to those who hunt the wolves here. Any of the workers here could have told you that.
I figured as much.
Yet they didn't, which leads me to believe that they have more loyalty than to you, despite the coin we give them.
They have no love for the vampire. Your kind has fed on them, subjugated them, abused them, taken their lands, conscripted them for armies, levied taxes. When you give nothing in return, why would they have loyalty? We protect them. We keep them safe.
Just an observation.
We help keep their numbers manageable. We help keep their numbers small enough to prevent starvation, to prevent famine. They thank us for it.
You stunt their growth.
We are the keepers here. It is not stunting the growth to keep a herd to a proper level.
We have settled our agreements.
Yes, we have.
Please see yourself out.
And he turns and he opens the gate and walks out. Doesn't shift form back. And you see him heading down into the valley. He doesn't even close the gate behind him. You see him heading back into the valley.
Oh, so he does know how to operate a gate, just chose not to.
As I said, he knows how to make an entrance.
I will completely admit, not since my embrace have I feared for my life as such. I've never met one of those.
Well, I guess I can say that they're no longer old wolves' tale. We'll go and close the gate.
Okay. The guards. You don't see them.
Oh no, they've probably shat themselves.
Hey,
Delirium's a bitch.
The villagers, though, they go, they're whispering amongst themselves. And that's it. They were not scared at all of this form.
Mm-mm.
No, they're all kinfolk.
Yeah,
the
they
Revenant-
literally.
Go ahead.
Sorry, no, it's bullshit. Ignore me.
Is the Revenant there?
She is not far. You see her staring the way it went.
I'm going to go over, grab her by the arm, and bring her over to the Transylvanians. I need you to translate to these people that if their ignorance ever puts us in danger again, a lone wolf will not be the only thing that they will need to protect them.
And she speaks in the language that she's been teaching her Romanian. You can catch bits and pieces of the word. They're related, but there's a lot of words you don't catch. You suspect it is a very old dialect that she is speaking in. And they look to her and look to you all and look to her. Go
Is
ahead,
she
Miguel.
translating correctly?
You don't speak Vlach. None of you
So it's
speak
not Romanian.
the old tongue.
That's some
very old
Klingon
tongue.
shit.
Let me double check.
Ooh.
Very few speak that other than Zemitzi or the lords of the land. You can catch bits and pieces, though. It's related.
Yeah. I look at her again once they've stopped looking back and forth. Let them know
No,
that
I speak Slavionic.
we are here because of one of the tormentors that they have had to deal with, but we are not the same.
And she looks at you. Why do you talk to peasants this way? They are...
Because nothing gets done without the peasantry.
Exactly. Command them. Tell them what they must do. Do
that
not
is not
negotiate.
that is not the way of a ruler. That is the way of a tyrant.
That is how it's been done here. I
And
will
that
follow
is why
your
we are
wishes.
different.
I will follow
We know
your
the-
wishes, but they won't respect you for it. They won't listen.
I have asked you to translate. I have much more to say to them.
And she turns back and begins speaking, and you're sure she's being pretty close to it by the bits and pieces you can catch?
Mhm.
They're similar enough you can get the gist of what she's saying without all the details.
And then when she's done, I say, if you prefer a tyrant to come in and put his boot on your neck, fail us again by not relinquishing information, and you will have what you want. And then I walk away.
And you hear her translate. She obviously doesn't agree with your way you're handling it, but she is, of course, a Basarab, born and raised in Transylvania. Her opinions would definitely be different. Nobody has bloodbound her yet.
Can I get a perception and empathy on her to be able to tell if she is
Go ahead. I'll let you do
giving
that.
the proper tone of the message?
Go ahead. Perception, empathy works great. Roll it.
Okay.
2. Sounds like it. She seems to be. The voice she is using is a voice that's used to command. You can tell that. But you think she's passing the correct messages, but she is speaking in a way you suspect most of her family speaks to those beneath them.
So it's clear she's talking down to them.
Of course. She is a revenant family of Transylvania. You have a long way to go to rehabilitate her views. And she is not bloodbound to any of you.
That's about to change.
Quick, everyone, Rochambeau.
I'll turn it over to you all to discuss the events of the night.
I had not noticed the large population of rats. Thank you for bringing it to my attention, Miguel. I feel that's interesting.
You know, I hadn't made the connection myself until our new friend brought up that things are not quite normal.
At some point, would you all like me to ask the rats? If anyone has insight into why they are breeding so much more, it would be them. They will probably give a simple answer, but an answer all the same.
The breeding does not how do I say this? Breeding would be limited by the apparent lack of food supply. There's either something else going on, or there's a stash that these rats have found.
I'll start speaking with more of them, see if maybe they can tell me where this might be. Or if there's something else that is increasing their number.
Snatcher, can you tell if a rat is a ghoul, a familiar of some kind?
Storyteller? I have a feeling I'd have been around some Nos that had, like, ghoul pets and shit, but I don't know if I'd be able to recognize it.
You would need some form of auspex, to be fair. Unless they had just recently been given blood, because you would be able to smell the canite blood on them.
If they are a recent acquisition, potentially, but a servant who has been with them for some time, no.
I would be careful of what information I give in return for what you get then.
And I would also suggest that even if there are not many Nosferatu in these areas, do watch what you say around various creatures. They pay attention more than we want. Special cases as Miguel's horse notwithstanding.
You will note that my horse is slightly larger than a normal mare. Keep that in mind in case you see any big fucking rats.
If we all are interested, I might be able to even get something set up for that. I do actually
Perhaps.
have an idea. It would require a water source. Later plans.
Peregrine, Lena. The two of you have been, I've noticed, with our guest, more than the rest of us. When Augustine asked her to translate, she did convey the words, but the tone was not the same as what Augustine had took.
Of course it wasn't. She's been bred by Zemitzi. Her family has for generations. Zemitzi are not kind rulers. They are tyrants. And if her family was bred for not just warfare, but also diplomacy, the Zemitzi method of diplomacy is not diplomatic.
And yet those in London say the Ventrue are the ones obsessed with control.
Zemitzi are tied to the land in which they rule. They would do anything to sustain it.
Does seem they have their deepest roots here.
Mm-hmm. There were a few on the other side. I was beholden to one.
Until I arrived in Transylvania, I had never met one.
You are in a different world here, Snatcher.
Completely. But we are building a fortress, night by night. If I keep focused on that, I should be fine.
I see potential in that girl. Matter of fact, Elena's going to get up and walk to her and then take her into the fortress basement.
When you walk over to her, you see where she's standing. She's watching the workers.
Mm-hmm.
And her posture
Oh, it's very much, yeah.
is that of a warlord.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen it. Actually, you've seen it in the Revenant families. You were around Zemitzi enough.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen their most trusted retainers are almost always Revenants.
Mm-hmm.
Families bred for that purpose.
I am sure you have instilled in them Enough fear for them to do their work. Come with me.
As you wish, lady. And she follows.
And I will blood bond her.
You're going to feed her the first step in the blood oath.
Yep.
Her being a revenant. She does not argue. She does not question.
And as she takes it, once it is done, Elena grabs her chin and looks her dead in the eye.
That is the first of 3 needed to fully bond her, though.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
We will do this each night until it is full.
As you wish.
I see potential in you. Don't disappoint me.
I serve as my family has served. And I will continue to serve.
However, I will say, do not brutalize the peasantry.
You do understand.
I understand.
It's all they recognize is strength.
You can be strong without brutalizing them. Brutalize enemies, not your own. We'll talk about it again in a few nights.
As you wish.
And Elena walks out.
And you all, anything y'all want to talk about while Elena's gone, or is everybody just waiting for her to come wandering back?
I mean, unless somebody else had something to say after that, Miguel's going to go back to his nightly routine.
Okay.
Yeah, same. Start amassing more rats. Start getting a vermin network going.
Okay, so Peregrine, Augustine, anything, and Elena comes back. Anything you 3 want to discuss?
Was it difficult?
Was what difficult?
Bridging the old and the new.
No.
I am understanding why Ambrosio put me in your care.
Why is that, little brother?
There is much that I am used to that the old world has forgotten, that needs to be dredged up, as it were.
Indeed. The girl is a willful one. In a few nights, she will obey.
We're going to have to try and at least bond with these people.
Yes.
I'll see what their next feast night is, and to which ones they are going to be going towards. I don't mind joining in with their things. I can do it.
Good idea.
I still believe in the old ways, so I don't mind being a heathen for a whole night of feasting. I still have some of my old clothes, I think, somewhere.
I may join you.
I'm just not going to go completely sky-clad. That would have been a day. But I think we need to really start bonding with these people. If we can help and work out in the evenings with them, checking on them, be kind of like foreman or people like the supervisor, making sure they're doing okay. treating them like they're human and not the servants that are just toiling away because we're paying them. Show them a little bit of kindness.
If you are inclined, have at it.
I don't mind. Here's the thing that we always say. You can always draw enough honey to flies, or flies to honey than vinegar. And if we can be the honey and get more work done, think of how fast we're going to get all of this done and move on.
But understand these people.
I can't understand if I don't start joining them.
Yeah. Learn what you can.
Aye.
You
I'll do
may
it.
find they prefer vinegar.
A little brazen. They remind me of the Germans. They're very hard and heavy outside.
The Holy Roman Empire now.
No. I'm talking about the good working farming people, where they're all tough and brazen, but in the end of the day, they're sitting at the fire, sitting and talking and having a good old time. They're strong and proud, but they're happy to share once they trust you and believe in you.
I leave it to you. You are inclined? Pursue your inclinations.
Best way to know them and understand them.
I agree.
Maybe we can teach them a bit more. Who knows what this place is going to turn out to be?
I am going to have to replace some guards, it seems.
They have finally come back open. Well, they couldn't open the gate. They had to scramble over the gate because it was barred from the inside.
You two, here.
They
Look at the
come
wee
running
lambs.
over. Still got a sheen of sweat on them. Eyes are still darting around like they're looking for the giant wolf to come out of any corner.
Ooh.
So that answers my question from the other night. You are cowards. Very well. You no longer are guards. You are now laborers. Get to work.
My lady, I work for Count Radu, not you.
Then you can go lick Radu's boots. You serve us not well.
I hope the roads treat you fairly and safely, my friends.
I'm sure
I
there will be
believe-
much for you to run and scream and cry and sweat at.
I believe the Radus Castle is that way.
So
Just
either
look
you
out for-
take position as laborer or you pack your things and leave tonight.
They don't even say another word to you. They go over, start shoving stuff in a bag, and head out.
Good.
Just listen for the rules.
And Elena will have her 2 guards serve night guard duty.
And as we close on this coterie,
Miguel,
go ahead, Miguel.
Miguel will follow them out of the gate to make sure that they get out safely.
They head down the path towards
And
Radu's.
he's looking around because he was told a wolf would be watching.
There is a wolf watching. It is down a little bit, down the steep incline to one side, but it's at the edge looking up the incline, just watching. It's not the same one from the other night. This one has a almost silvery fur.
I'm able to make eye contact.
Yeah, looks right at you.
I will motion to the gentleman leaving. And let them know that they could not agree to the terms and are being told to leave. Whatever fate may come to them.
This is Radu's land. I don't fear the walk back. We will report to him.
I'm saying this to Wolf.
The wolf doesn't say. The wolf's down there pretty far. It just watches you. It knows you're talking. You almost swear it understands what you're saying.
I have feral whispers. You should understand what I'm saying.
No, fully understands it. Beyond the rough concept that animals normally understand. And it just waits as the rest of the guards walk down. Follow the path down. They didn't leave with horses like they arrived. It's going to take them a while to get back.
Yeah. Close the gate behind me as I return.
And as everyone settles in for the night, I think right here we're going to end. It's been an eventful night. Actually, it's been, an eventful period of time. At this point, you have been up here well over a week. 2 weeks, roughly. The fortress is being built. I'd like to thank my players and you, the viewers. Players, you get, for this session, 3 XP. No, I'm not giving you a 4th. I'd have given you a 4th if you fought the werewolf and won.
That's just suicide.
But that would have been...
You can keep your 4th.
The survivors would have got a 4th.
I fought the wolf, and the wolf won.
And I'd like to thank, of course, the viewers. Halfway. This is the halfway point of the season, everybody. But progress has been made. And they're now on the lookout for something. And Elena is Gould. Sharazina. She is still what she is. Can't expect much different from what she is.
Mm-mm.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Give it time. Of course, please join us on our Discord. This show was cast from our Discord. We cast all of our shows from Discord. We just finished up a casting call for a Vampire Modern Nights, Kansas City. You missed it. If you're joining Discord now, you missed your chance to jump into Kansas City. But
there will be a Monster Hearts 2 casting call coming very soon.
But there'll be other casting calls. Not just this. We stream a number of games and casting calls pop up. I'm not going to say all the time, but pop up from time to time. Somebody in chat asked if we have podcasts. Nope. I know YouTube lists our videos as podcasts. And they're generally okay to be listened to as a podcast other than Wraith. If you're going to watch our Wraith, please don't listen to it as a podcast. Please watch the videos because there's something lost in translation with Wraith.
Right.
The shadow play is needed to be a visual effect for the shadow play. So,
no, we only post our videos to YouTube, and they are available here, video on demand. They're not behind a paywall. But yeah, we don't do podcasts.
But YouTube is
a lot of work involved in getting stuff ready for podcasts.
YouTube has flagged our videos as podcasts automatically. Don't know why.
Because it's a lot of talking.
A lot of talking. If you want to go to our YouTube, it's right there. Check our back episodes. We have lots of back episodes, not just of, this one we only have, this would be the 5th episode, but of a bunch of World of Darkness, Modern Nights, Chicago, Werewolf, Mage, Changeling, Demon, Wraith. I mean, we've covered most of the splats at this point. So you can catch all those. Plus, Monster Hearts, Bluebeard's Bride, Paranoia, Zasarkala. We got so much shit on our YouTube. You're covered. Don't worry. If you want to get some Call of Cthulhu or D&D 5e, pop over to Ishfel. That's where that is. Check out our list of friends. 2 of them are right here. Ravnos Archon can be found on his channel. And of course, Junie Von Esch down there at the RPG table. That's who's Peregrine. I'll give them a chance after the schedule to give a list of where they all are. If you want to get some merch, pop over to our merch store, sign in. Some of the merch is adult, and you got to be signed in to see it. And of course, as always, everybody, bits and donations, they go to the players, not to the studio. It's a way for you, the viewers, to give to the players for the hard work and everything we go through to do this show. If you want to give something to the studio, you can subscribe on Twitch. You can go to our coffee and buy us a coffee. Or if you're watching on YouTube, subscription is free on YouTube. Subscribe, click the notification icon, like the videos, comment on the videos. Those all drive us up and show your support on YouTube. So do all that good stuff. But bits and donations there for the players, not for us. And I think that's it. My wife can give the schedule.
All right. So coming up over the next week, we have on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, Star Wars, run by Ravnos Archon here and featuring Junie and others. Join them for that stream on Friday at 8. And then Saturday, we have Call of Cthulhu 7E at 3 p.m. Eastern, run by our amazing European GM Tiss, and her crew of investigators make up the London Esoteric Society, which is a group of occult investigators around turn of 1900 in London. So check out that. It's a fun romp. Literally, they're doing all the insanity-inducing things, so you don't want to miss it. And I think somebody got deaded last session.
It's Call of Cthulhu. There's a lot of deaded going on.
Yeah.
Hey, deaded's better than mutant alien brain parasite.
That is true. And then on the 9th, Shanky will be here. What time?
It's at 3 p.m. Eastern.
3 p.m. Eastern on Sunday with Vampire V5 Bloodied Fields. It is a special little serial that he's been running with some folks, telling a story about basically Children of the Corn, vampire style.
It's been kind of fun.
Awful. Just awful.
Some of them seem to think they're going to get out of there alive. Oh, how foolish some people are. You even see Zach Rules may go in this one as a priest in that one. That he's probably not getting out alive even.
No.
Hope is foolish and springs eternal.
Hope is a dangerous thing. And then, of course, we will be back here on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern for the next installment of Vampire the Masquerade Dark Ages.
Yep. And so now we'll go around. Ravnos Archon, tell people where you're at, where they can find you, what you got going on, because you got other stuff going on.
Hi, everybody. Like we said in the schedule, you can find me here on Wednesdays where I get to play Agustin, Fridays where I get to run Star Wars at least until the end of the month. But on my own channel, I run Vampire the Masquerade on Mondays. It's a dual story, one Camarilla chapter, one Anarch chapter. We're taking a break on Tuesdays currently for the month. We'll be back in the middle of August, but I usually run Legend of the Five Rings and Werewolf the Wild West. And every other Thursday, this Thursday in particular, we'll be hitting the high seas with 7C. So I'm excited to see that. And you might see somebody at this table there. So, whatever.
Yeah. 7 Seas is fun. Played it, enjoyed it. I was the Dread Quartermaster Scappa, and I had so much fun doing that.
Super fun.
Yep. Zach, tell everybody where you're at.
Hello, I am Zachary Naldre, he, him. I can be found on the Ancient Elephant app. I'm Zach Rules at dicecamp.com, or sorry, dice.camp. I'm still getting used to how Mastodon works. I can be found at other socials at Zach Rules. And if somebody else is there, it's probably Zach Ruiz because he got there first. So try Zach Rules Dice in that case. I will Bloody Fields, not doing anything to help out other than, terrorize and painfully feed from mortals in public places. And things
in
like
the
that.
diner. Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Nothing bad could happen from that.
Hey, some mortals deserve it.
They asked for it for the special kiss. He gave them the special kiss.
The Hikata special kiss is quite different than the
Oh,
other
yes,
clans.
it's painful.
Hikata.
That's the ouchie bitey.
Yeah. Hikata, a little bit painful there.
Fangful.
Yep. Junie, tell everybody where you can be found.
I am found on the internet. Why? Because I live there. Trust me on this. Instagram, yes, even Tumblr, Twitter, you name it. Find me. I'm there. Ginny Von Ash. Hi. You can find me here on my channel, also on the RPG on Saturdays. You can find me here on McStabbers, both Wednesdays and Fridays, up until the end of July for Star Wars. You also find me on Ravenos Archons every other Thursday because 7C is a thing and he likes to torment my life in one way or another. Also, you'll see me on Sunday nights on Roll Call for a DC by Night game, and I'm also a mod on Cajun Nights, a Discord that's a play-by-post server for all of your World of Darkness needs.
Yep, Junie has a lot going on. And I
Just a
know,
little.
Maddox, you can say where they can find you, which is pretty much here.
On the streets. Mm.
In a dark alley, waiting for you to take your purse.
Torchlight.
Yep, with torchlight.
It's 10 to
He's a
watch.
hooker.
It's 5 to watch, 10 to touch. Come on.
Wow, I love it.
He's just a city boy looking for a small town girl.
Okay. 1 bonus XP to everybody for that joke.
Okay. Yes!
Just for that joke. I like that joke. That was good.
See, folks, always make the person, your GM, your storyteller, whoever, laugh, because
I
you will
give a
always
bonus
get
XP
rewarded.
for that one. I like that. That was good. Even if it's out of game, I like it. I'll be benevolent because the shanky giveth and later the shanky will taketh away. Don't worry. So, and as always,
Don't worry.
yeah, you know it's coming.
Oh, yeah.
And as always, when we end these streams, everybody, mental health. It's not a joke. It's not a laughing matter. Please take mental health seriously. Take the mental health of yourself. Take the mental health of others seriously. Please check in on those around you. A lot of people are not okay, and they just need a voice, a friendly lifeline, somebody to reach out to them to help them off an edge. And if you suffer from mental health issues like many people do, please reach out to those around you, to your own support network. But I can understand if you feel you don't have one. A lot of people don't. So in chat right now is a list of numbers you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And there will be a professional on the other end of the line who can talk to you, who can work with you, and can be that voice you need. Because first of all, it's okay to not be okay. The stigma that is attached with mental health should not be a thing. There's nothing wrong with needing help once in a while. And mental health is health. So please, everybody, take care of yourselves. And I'll turn it over to my lovely wife for her portion of the outro.
Hey, y'all, Mama McStabber here. I'm a registered nurse in real life, and I'm going to tell you that with the mind also goes the body. So please take care of your body and your mind. Get your vaccines, please. Get your preventative screens if you are due or overdue, because early detection does save lives. And please get your routine physicals, checkups, and get checked out when you're not feeling well. We want you around for a long time. For real. Take your meds, drink your water, you'll be good. Okay? And I'm going to say, please make sure you are registered to vote. 2024 is going to be a pivotal election. The truth is, folks, we need about 2 to 3 Democrat administrations to really undo the damage that the Republican Party has done since 1981. So please, 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 please get yourself registered. Do not be apathetic. Get yourself registered. Make sure that you vote for those that are actively trying to help enshrine human rights and protect citizens from senseless gun violence. Literally, we are all just one bullet away from being a hashtag. So please, y'all, please. And if you live in a Republican-controlled state, please ensure you check your registration leading up to the election, because they are noted for suppressing votes by just dropping registrations on people that are registered Democrat in their states, especially minorities. So please be mindful of that and keep checking to make sure your registration is valid. Said with love. Because, yeah, we've got to undo the bullshit.
Yep.
And stop the fascists. Fuck the fascists. Fuck Putin. Fuck SCOTUS. Fuck all the fucking fascists.
And I do thank everyone for coming. And I thank the players because Y'all about to go through some things. Just saying. Good night, everybody.